It's just a strange impulse when you are the most powerful man in the world.
But is there any harm in this? I mean, it's a very serious question here. I mean, Congo.
Psychologists say yes.
Congo, DRC. I did some work with the DRC a couple of years ago. That's important. There are some factions that are still fighting there, but you have to acknowledge that. Pakistan, India, that was a very real thing.
But why is FIFA giving him an award?
My point is, there are some very serious resolutions that the president has under his belt in less than a year. I don't have a problem with it being acknowledged, whether it's FIFA, whether it's the New York Times, whether it's CNN. What's the problem with it?
That's conservative Shermichael Singleton pointing out how absurd it's become watching liberals melt down over President Trump receiving an International Peace Award. They're twisting themselves into knots to turn a positive recognition into a scandal, all because it's Trump getting credit for something they've been trying desperately to downplay and cover up. Welcome to Nerk News, I'm Nerkish, and it looks like establishment media is in full panic mode over Trump being honored on the world stage, because every time he racks up another win, they scramble to manufacture outrage instead of acknowledging reality. You know, this obsession with tearing down anything that benefits America is exactly why people tune them out. Here's Singleton taking on a panel of smug CNN elitists as they try to downplay the FIFA Peace Prize.
I mean, it's the insecurity of the president, and
okay.
it's.
So I guess we're all psychologists at this table,
and I'm not saying psychologists, but whenever you have a cabinet meeting where there are real core issues happening in our country, like increasing costs, like what is happening, you know, in Ukraine, he has not ended that conflict. A number of different things.
Nor did Joe Biden, who you worked for.
I will tell you, I'm not the best Joe Biden supporter at this table right now, and so I'm not going to go ahead and defend him on a lot of things. But he also did not seek out, there wasn't the insecurity and seek out the praise. But his cabinet meetings are a joke. They are sitting there to praise the president and not really to. They don't get anything
How many cabinet
done.
meetings did Joe Biden have?
I have no idea how many cabinet meetings.
I mean, I can reference him because Jay Tapper wrote a whole book about it. If we really want to go there, I can reference that, Sochi.
And newsflash, he's not president.
I understand it, but you're making a point attacking the current president, and then we should compare that to the previous president.
He is the current president, and just like people should have attacked, if they had problems with Biden, they should have done that, but he's no longer our president. What I'm saying is that there's an insecurity from this president, and it's just all about feeding his ego, and there's something deeply sick about that.
So I think I might be the biggest soccer fan at the table. Now, it sort of provides a stain over the whole thing. It's great for America, and I agree with some of the comments that Christine Brennan's saying in there too. This is good. We got the World Cup. We're, you know, it's uniting the world's largest sport, America's biggest youth sport, on a grand stage. But this is not a good organization to be partnering with, and if anybody needs reform, it's not the United States or Donald Trump or anybody else, it's FIFA.
I just wish sometimes we could all acknowledge when something is decent.
What I just do, man?
No, in terms of acknowledging the successes of a president.
Yes.
I did.
No, you did. But I get the point of critique. That's why we're all here. But it just seems to me it's overbearing in the critique of the president in matters where it's not necessary.
You know, Singleton handled this exactly right, because the left's outrage over this award has nothing to do with ethics and everything to do with denying Trump's record. I mean, FIFA highlighted Trump's extraordinary action in pushing peace negotiations, his shuttle diplomacy efforts around Ukraine, and his role in securing the 2026 World Cup bid that will pump billions into the economy. These are real accomplishments, and liberals can't stand it. They celebrated Obama's meaningless Nobel and stayed silent while he expanded wars, but suddenly they're experts on prize criteria. It's transparent, selective outrage designed to hide Trump's wins.
But I want to ask Kevin a question. Sure. You essentially tried to you get the most charitable possible interpretation of what's happening here, that this is a business deal.
It is.
Do you not see the slippery slope when the president is able to give and receive gifts in a very transactional way? Like, what if there is a Democratic president who's in power next, and he's not as favorable to a company that you care about?
No, but
and
wait
then
a second. Every president in the United States is gifted everything. There's all these gifts for generations.
There's no way.
Just because he's wearing a medal around his neck, he brought in $100 million of merchandise into the U.S. economy.
To Kevin's point,
this is what I say. Thank you.
Presidents do get gifts, but they're supposed to give it to the State Department. If they want to keep it.
How do you know he's not going to give the Rolex clock to the State Department?
I didn't say any of that.
You know he's going to hang that medal in the
Kevin,
Oval.
I can't wait Kevin, I didn't say any of that. I'm just letting you know that this is the normal procedure.
Yeah.
So we will find out. Usually there's a report. We'll find out later whether or not they kept it, and
what about
if you keep it, you have to pay for it.
Remember that one?
The 747.
I love that
So
gift.
I think that will be a really important question. who gets that plane? Because he says it's
You know
not
what,
going to be Air Force
Abby, I'm
One.
getting the plane.
And
I'm going to buy
His
it.
presidential
We'll see.
library gets it, right?
Listen, if
Well,
he's not
we'll
using
see.
it, I'll
I mean,
buy it.
I think that
But
they
that's
may
a good
be trying to
example
make it
of that
Air
is
Force
pure
One.
corruption. That's not
And
a
I
good
want
thing.
the American people to get the proceeds of my purchase. How about
right.
that? Right here on the show.
All right.
O'Leary nails why this entire outrage cycle is so ridiculous. I mean, presidential gifts and ceremonial honors happen all the time, and nobody cared until Trump was the one receiving them. And the reality is that his involvement in the World Cup bid brought over $100 million in projected economic impact, strengthened U.S. partnerships, and delivered exactly the kind of global goodwill every president is supposed to welcome. Yet liberals are pretending this minor FIFA medal is some scandal while ignoring far more questionable perks handed to their own presidents.
First of all, he's got a great track record of solving conflicts around the world. The United States has engaged in many places and brought countries that were in conflict to a peaceful resolution. That's good. Number two, I think one of his greatest accomplishments, bringing home the living hostages from Gaza, getting a ceasefire there in the Middle East, trying to expand the Abraham Accords. That's a great thing. And number three, even on Venezuela, I mean, look, we're attacking people that are doing the opposite of bringing peace to families in the United States. I mean, when we let this poison into our country, we're effectively letting in terrorists who have materials that want to kill the American people and have to the tune of hundreds of thousands over the last few years. He's policing our own hemisphere, and we're going after people who wreak havoc on families in our country and in other countries in our hemisphere and around the world. So I think the president believes deeply in peace. I think he has a track record of it. And I think the FIFA guy came up with a great idea. And it's great for our country that we're having the World Cup. And I'm glad the president is leaning into it with the head of FIFA.
You know, Jennings is just saying what everyone already knows, but the media keeps dodging. Trump's approach overseas actually calmed things down in places that had been powder kegs for years. I mean, you had fewer flare-ups, new alliances forming, and hostile regimes suddenly thinking twice because they knew he wasn't bluffing. Even international security groups noted that some of the biggest hotspots saw reduced escalation risk during his term. So FIFA recognizing that kind of leadership isn't some shock. The only reason it's becoming a controversy is because liberals can't rewrite this part of Trump's record no matter how badly they want to. But let me know what you think. Should liberals finally admit Trump earned this recognition instead of pretending a simple FIFA award is some giant scandal? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. That stuff really does help us out. Until then, this has been Nerk News. Thanks for watching. Bye.